What's up, guys? It's Doug the Dog Guy, and I wanted to talk to you guys briefly about your payment policy. This is something that I have been seeing come up in a lot of the pet sitter and dog walker Facebook groups recently, and I've even had a lot of my own coaching clients asking me about when and how to get payment from our pet sitting and dog walking clients. So this is a really important topic. This is something I had mentioned in a lot of my different videos, but I've never actually made a video specifically on the payment policy. But this is one of the policies that I think every single pet sitting and dog walking business should have, and we should really all be on the same page about, or at least close to the same page. Any of you guys that watch a lot of my videos know that a lot of the policies that I talk about can be done a million different ways, and it really comes down to what is going to be best for you and your business and your target market. But the payment policy is something that just across the board, we should all be getting payment before the service. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. I'm going to go into this a little bit more. I'm going to talk about how to word your policy, how to enforce it, and all of that kind of stuff. But before I get into all those good details, make sure to share your payment policy down in the comments below and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my weekly videos sharing my experiences as a full-time professional pet sitter, dog walker, and pet business owner. So I'll tell you that I did not have a payment policy at all for the first almost 2 years of my business. I actually didn't even have a terms of service agreement at all for those first couple of years. If you do not have a contract, a terms of service that every one of your clients are signing, you need to fix that today. This is something that is hugely important. I have made an entire other video about things to include in your contract and how to write a contract. I will link that video down below. And if you're looking for just a quick, easy template to get you started, Time to Pet has a really good free template on the Academy section of their website. So I'll put that link down below as well. But this payment policy needs to be in writing. It needs to be a part of your contract, and you need to be getting a signature from every single client on this, no matter what your payment policy is. But I learned the hard way the importance of getting your payment ahead of time by a client refusing to pay me. It was back in those early days when I didn't have a contract, I didn't have a payment policy, and the client came home and it was like $1,000 gig that I had done. I had stayed there in their home with their pets for over a week, and then they just decided that they were not going to pay me. And this really put me in a really bad situation because at the time I was living dog walk to dog walk, paycheck to paycheck. And this client refusing to pay me really affected my life in more ways than I think they realized. It's a whole other conversation in and of itself, but it's something that I know a lot of you can relate with, especially those of you that are just starting your pet sitting business. But after this client refused to pay me, I promised myself that I would never allow that to happen again. So that's when I wrote my first contract and I started getting payment ahead of time. Now, there are some different schools of thoughts on some people think that you should get, half up front and then half at the end of the service. Some people think that you should get a deposit at the time of request and then get the remainder before the first service. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, but I think as long as you are getting the full payment before you arrive to start the service, you're going to be good. Now, the way that I do it is I say that I need a 50% deposit at the time of request, and I need the remaining 50% at least 14 days before I begin the service. Obviously, if they are requesting the service within 14 days, then I need 100% payment at the time of request. And I do not consider the service confirmed on my schedule until I have gotten 100% payment. If the time rolls around for that scheduled service and I have not gotten that 100% payment, then I just do not consider that service confirmed on my schedule, and I do not go to the client's home. And that is exactly how I have it written in my terms of service. There's a lot of different reasons for this. For one, you are not going to be able to charge a cancellation fee and enforce your cancellation policy if you have not gotten payment ahead of time. You know, if you haven't gotten payment and then they cancel you and then you say, oh, well, I need the X amount for the cancellation fee, why would they ever pay that? You know, it's just, you're going to be screwed out of that money right then and there. It also makes them value your time and respect your time on a higher level. And what I mean by that is just by human nature, the way our minds work, if you have to pay up front for someone's time, then you are just going to value their time more and view it as more of an investment and take it more seriously. But if you don't have to pay for their time right up front, then you aren't going to take it as seriously. I mean, it's just that simple. So if you're having trouble with clients really taking you seriously, or if you have clients pushing back on certain policies or any of this different kind of stuff, you may want to look at your payment policy and some of your other policies and see how you are presenting yourself. Another reason it is really important to get payment up front is when you start hiring a team and start having your employees going to do the pet sits and the dog walks, you are going to have to pay your team members for their time, whether your client has paid you or not. And if it comes time for you to do payroll and you owe your team all this money and you haven't gotten the money from the client yet, you're going to be in a world of hurt, because then you're going to be having to take money out of your own personal account to pay your employees, because you cannot look at your employees and say, oh, sorry, the client hasn't paid me yet, so I can't pay you yet. That's not going to fly. You have to pay them whether the client has paid you or not. And this is something where even if you don't want to hire and grow a team, and even if your long-term plan is to stay a solo pet sitter, with every single thing that you are doing in your business, you should ask yourself, would I ask someone else to do this? And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't be doing it yourself. And something else to keep in mind here that I think is really important is think about other industries and how they do payment. If you're booking a flight to go somewhere, if you are booking a hotel, if you're booking an Airbnb for your next trip, any of those platforms, you have to make 100% payment at the time of reservation. There's no questions asked about that. We all do it every day, so why are we not doing it within our own businesses as pet sitters or dog walkers? And just to take that a little bit further, I know that we don't like to compare ourselves as professional pet sitters to platforms like Rover and Wag. However, Rover and Wag charge 100% payment at the time of request. So if you want to present yourself as a professional business, you should at least have comparable policies to those businesses, if not stricter and more in depth than those types of businesses. I actually have all of my clients automatically set up on Autopay through Time to Pet. So when we approve their scheduling request, Time to Pet automatically generates the invoice and puts it on their profile. And then we automatically charge their card 24 hours after the service has been approved and that invoice has been generated. That gives them 24 hours to go onto their profile and review the invoice and let us know of any changes that may need to be made before that payment goes through. Now, and by setting them up on Autopay, we just really don't have to worry about anything. We know that we are going to have payment in hand. However, we do give our clients the option to opt out of Autopay, as I don't want to force that on someone that may not be comfortable with it. Now, if they opt out of our Autopay, then we just refer back to those payment policies that we have in writing, and we say that we need 50% down payment at the time of request, and then we need the remaining 50% 14 days ahead of time. Again, there are different ways to go about all of this. I just think it's important that no matter how you're doing your deposits and all of this other kind of stuff, as long as you are getting all of the money before you arrive to the client's home, that is what really matters. And you have to have this stuff in writing and be getting your clients to sign it. It just amazes me how many people don't have a terms of service. It amazes me how long I didn't have a terms of service agreement, and so as someone that has been in this a decade and has seen just about anything and everything you can even think of as a pet sitter and dog walker, I am telling you, this is one of the most important policies to have. If you roll out this policy and then your clients tell you that they are not willing to pay you up front, I would simply refer them out to a different company and I would replace them with a better client. Because if a client tells you that they are not willing to abide by your policies, whatever they may be, and if they tell you that they are not willing to pay you up front, that is their way of telling you that they do not respect you and they do not value your time and the efforts that you are putting into your services. And I would always rather have 2 clients that respect me and pay me what I am worth rather than 10 that don't. I know someone that's been a hobby pet sitter for the past couple of years, and she has not had a terms of service or a strict written payment policy, and she is starting to take herself a little bit more seriously now, and she just rolled out her terms of service with this payment upfront policy in there, and she has been getting pushback from some of her clients. Every single one of the clients that are pushing back on this policy are all clients that have pushed the boundaries and really been difficult to work for. All of the clients that have been respectful to her and have not pushed the boundaries have agreed to this policy, no problem. And I think that is something that we will all see across the board. And I know it can be kind of scary to be getting pushback from clients on stuff like this. I know it can be scary, the thought of losing a client. But again, you're always going to be better off having a couple clients that respect you and pay you what you are worth rather than a whole bunch of clients that don't. Also, on the note of the payment policy is how you get payment. Now, we require all payments to be done via the client's time to pet account, and they all have a credit card on their account. They're automatically set up on Autopay and all of this kind of stuff. We will not accept any other form of payment. Now, that is something that may vary from business to business. There may be some of you out there that still accept Venmo or Cash App or cash or check. That is something you really need to look at what's going to be best for your business and how you are trying to operate. But again, it just needs to be in writing in this terms of service agreement. That way, your clients know exactly what is expected of them. And then when they do not abide by those policies, you have a document to refer back to. So I hope this has been helpful to you guys. I think this is something that is very important and something that we should really all be on the same page about as a pet sitting and dog walking industry as a whole. And again, if you have questions about your overall terms of service and some of these other policies, and questions about what the industry norms are on some of these policies, go watch my contract video, and then put any questions that you have for me down in the comments below. You can also go to my website, dougthedogguy.co, to schedule a one-on-one coaching session with me, and I can help walk you through writing your policies and enforcing your policies. I am here to help you guys. I've made every mistake in the book growing my business over the last 10 years, and that is why I put out these videos. That's why I have the resources on my website. It's why I do the coaching calls and stuff. It's to help you guys avoid all of the mistakes that I have made over the years. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little ramble about payment policies today. I'm sending you all positive wishes. I'm Doug the Dog Guy, reminding you to stay positive.